Shalom, all praises to Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai, and double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, Bashem Rakak Wadash. My name is Yakalba from Plain Tables Camp in Philly. This is these prophecies about the end, because we're coming to an end of Esau's kingdom. It's Matthew 24:11, and many false prophets shall rise and shall deceive many, and because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. But he that shall endure to the end, the same shall be saved. All right, false prophets. You got Israelites that call on the name of Yahweh and the Son Yahweh Shai, trying to convince the public that the implant chip is not the mark. All right, that's a false prophet. It doesn't matter if they're 99% or 90% doing the right thing, and they preach a false prophecy and teach other men. All right, it makes you a false prophet. All right, it's clear as day that the implant, the chip, is the mark spoken about in the book of Revelation. All right, and because iniquity shall abound, 11 men shall wax cold. All right, because of the curse that the Lord put our people under. All right, which is what in Deuteronomy 28. It says that eye should be evil toward thy brother. It's Deuteronomy 28:54. So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eye shall be evil toward his brother, and toward the wife of his bosom, and toward the remnant of his children, which he shall leave in the siege. All right, and that's not just talking about one time period. It's talking about over the time periods, or the different captivities that Israel, our ancestors, have gone through, and us. All right. And there's just so much crime, and so it's a drug trafficking, robbery, and drugs. They tend to produce murders and kidnappings, property damage. So that's all linked, centered around drugs and other crimes. So crime has gotten so bad in this one area in North Philly, I think it said Clearfield, that they hired armed security. Let's listen.
Absolutely.
All right, we got a question for you. Would this make you feel safe? Take a look. A security guard armed with a semi-automatic weapon. It's happening at a North Philly gas station. The owner coming up with the idea to scare off criminals. If you saw this is our go vote for tonight. Would you feel safer or uncomfortable? So right now the vote is 60.
Well, that shouldn't be the two votes. It should say, does it make you feel safe, and is it reducing crime? All right. Does it make you feel safe, and is it actually reducing the crime? Not does it make you feel uncomfortable. That's a non-factor. All right. The point is that there's crime going on. All right. And you got mainly wicked Israelites doing it.
65% of you saying safer, 35% uncomfortable. So be sure to vote at fox29.com/go-vote. Shawnette, you spoke with the gas station owner who says this is needed to keep both his workers and customers safe.
Yeah, interesting listening to those numbers you just gave us, Sheba. So the store manager says that he had to do something more than call 911. And most customers, I'll tell you, that I talked to this evening on and off camera say that they support this, but there were a few who say they don't believe this is the right approach. Hired security strapped with AR-15s or shotguns, standing guard and walking the property of this North Philly gas station and convenience store.
This is supposed to be a city, right? And you got the kids walking around. Guns like this should be on the battlefield.
Corey Berry says she's on board with it.
If you're trying to get gas, you live in a bad area, and the only place is here, and they're getting robbed all the time, I mean, I support the owner.
Neil Patel is the manager of this Carco shop franchise at Broad and Clearfield.
We are tired from this all nonsense. Robbery, drug trafficking, racketings, all kind of hanging around all gangs.
He shared with me these videos of what has led up to this drastic response to crime at his business. Over the past few weeks, he says his store was trashed by young people, an ATM stolen out of the store, and he says his car was vandalized while parked at the store.
They're forcing us to hire the security, high-level security, state level. I am fearful for my safety of my employee as well as my nice neighborhood, all customers.
So 3 weeks ago, he hired the Pennsylvania site state agents.
We wear Kevlar. We are trained. My guys go to training every other week. They're proficient with this. They're proficient with their taser. They know the laws.
Andre Boyer is the chief of the company.
As a Pennsylvania state agent, that's what it says. The law tells us that we have a right to protect this property in any means necessary and whatever force necessary to be used to protect it.
This man told employees.
And again, this is private. Imagine when the state does this. This is private. This is all coming out of his pocket. And I'm sure, well, this is probably a tax write-off too. This is a business expense, and he can completely justify spending. I'm sure it's expensive. This is a business expense, you know. So he's not even really paying for this. If I'm not mistaken, you can correct me if I'm wrong. So let's let the video play.
To protect it.
This man told employees he's against it. I asked Patel about it. They feel like using guns, you know, when we have such a big problem with guns in the city is not the right message.
And that's not a right. I understand that, but according to some people, violent people, they carry the gun. Then they're not afraid then, and this is the protection for neighborhood and the customers.
All right, so you heard him. He just said that people who are against this are concerned about the armed security, but they should be concerned about the bad guys who are out there carrying the guns. Meanwhile, Patel says that he's had a...
Right, they should be concerned about them. And remember, criminals don't follow the rules. They don't follow the laws, you know, so, hey. And the Lord's doing this, you know, to bring it down upon wicked-ass Israelites. Now, this is private. Imagine when the state does it. It's going to be 20 times worse. You're not going to have an opportunity to protest without getting thrown in a damn cage. All right. And if you cross a certain limit, let's say they give you a little leeway. You cross a certain limit, they're gonna throw you in the cage. They're gonna throw you in that damn camp. All right. A lot of Israelites are gonna be in them camps anyway, no matter what they do. But when those troops, the time of Jacob's trouble arises, those troops are going to be very, very evil toward, you know, protests, dissidents, and Israelites.
Store there for about 20 years. He said the crime has gotten increasingly worse just over the past few years. And he tells me that in the past 3 weeks, he hasn't had any issues with the crime since bringing this company on.
And the people you talk to, Shawnette, I have this out on Twitter, and a lot of the comments are exactly what you got in response. This is where we are in the city. This is unfortunately what we need to do to keep our stores and our customers safe if we own a gas station. And especially since you see everything that happened with this particular business owner. Shawnette, I just want to mention, too, just going back to our Go vote, when we came on the air, I think it was around 65% who said that it makes them feel safer. Now it's at 80%. Just during your report, it jumped up that high.
Wow.
All
yeah,
right.
it is certainly a sight to see, but people say it is for their safety.
Yeah. All right, Shawnette, thank you.
All right, we'll click on the other one since
But first tonight,
they recommended it. So what was this come out 1 day ago? This watch store clerk open fire on armed robbery suspect accused of violent crime spree.
the search for an armed and dangerous suspect in a violent crime spree. And new video tonight shows one of those robberies where an employee fought back and fired. Good evening. I'm Jason Martinez.
And I'm Sheba Russell. The suspect wanted in at least 4 violent crimes in 3 different counties over 8 hours. One of them a home invasion where 2 people were shot. And Kelly, you spoke with one of the businesses targeted.
Yeah, Jason and Sheba, that's right. Tonight I spoke with the brother of the store employee that pulled his gun on a man now believed to be 22-year-old Zaki Austin.
All right, get to the damn shooting, man. Yeah.
New video given to Fox 29 captures the shots fired between a man and a Northwest Philadelphia mini-mart employee during an attempted robbery. It shows a man come into the store, push another person, pull out a gun and point it. The employee grabs his gun, starts shooting, and the man shoots back and runs outside. Police believe that man is 22-year-old Zaki Austin, behind a crime spree that extended into Delaware and Chester counties. The mini-mart employee's twin brother spoke with Fox 29.
He said he was definitely scared, but he said that, like something told him that he had to take action because either he did that or something worse could have happened.
Police believe Austin first carjacked a man at gunpoint around 8 p.m. Sunday at Germantown and West Hunting Park Avenues and drove off in the victim's 2020 Chevy Malibu. They believe he then headed to the Franklin Station development in Middletown, Delaware County around midnight, where police say there was a violent home invasion of a couple described as recent retirees in their late 60s and 70s. Police say one person was shot in the face, the other in the leg. Police believe Austin then traveled about 10 miles to West Goshen, Chester County, where police say he robbed an Exxon on South High Street sometime after 2 a.m.
A black male approached the attendant, demanded money, brandished a black handgun.
And back in Philadelphia, around 4 a.m., police believe it was Austin that tried to rob Rodriguez Mini Mart on Ogons Avenue. Giordani Rodriguez says his brother asked him to remove his ski mask, and he did, bought something and left, then came back in, armed, but his brother was ready.
It's better to work hard and do things the right way than to try to get easy money doing the wrong thing. You might either die or end up in jail.
Yep. And they under the curses. So again, two-thirds of our people are wicked. They're not concerned about the scriptures. If you were to tell them, he's pretty much going to work. All right, just drive and find people to rob. My brother was killed over the same type of shit. Driving around in a damn stolen car, trying to find somebody to rob. And my younger brother's kind of a big boy, and he thought he was going to run up on him and take his shit, but he fought back and he ended up getting murdered. So they got Yahushua has a good spot, a good part of that nuclear fire for you wicked ass 2/3 Israelites. All right, you're going to die here in America. All right. It's Amos 9:9. For lo, I will command that I will sift the house of Israel from among all nations, like as corn is sifted in the sieve, yet shall not the least grain fall upon the earth. All the sinners of my people shall die by the sword, which say the evil shall not overtake nor prevent us. All right. So whatever the prophets would speak, they would say, well, if you do this, then the other nations are going to come against you. The Lord said He's going to send evil against Israel if they transgress the law. All right? And Israel has transgressed the law, and the Lord is going to send evil, is sending evil, and is going to increase that evil. That's what the time of Jacob's trouble is all about. It's to punish 2/3 of Israel. All right? And some of the Lord's righteous are going to perish, but they're going to live. They're going to live. They're going to be resurrected. They're going to be the first ones that's going to see the glory of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, the elect that perish. All right. Now, so understand what time we're in. All right. When the times of these prophecies being fulfilled, it's Matthew 16:3. And in the morning it will be foul weather today, for the sky is red and lowering. The weather foul weather, like storm, clouds, rain. Oh, you hypocrites! You can discern the face of the sky, but can ye not discern the signs of the times? When it is evening, ye say it shall be fair weather, for the sky is red. All right, so you can tell the weather, but you can't tell the signs of the times. All right, and you have simple Israelites out there that don't believe that the end is near, and it is near. So prepare yourself. It takes a long time to prepare yourself. So if it's a year or 4 years from now, you're supposed to be training right now. So in that day, it's going to be hard. All right, to endure that time of Jacob's trouble, we got to have all the skills. Got to be set in our mind to do what the Lord commanded us to do, right? Without question, without fail. All right. So if you come in at the very last second, it's going to be extremely difficult. All right, you're going to have Israelites come in at the last minute, but that's going to be a dreadfully terrifying. Just training for a marathon, and you got 24 hours to train for the marathon instead of having 12 years, 15 years, 20, 30, 50, 38 years, 37 years, 2 years, 6 months of training rather than having an hour of training. All right. This is breaking news. We got Europe can't count on U.S. shale to make up for Russian crude. EU crude imports from Russia. This is oilprice.com. EU crude imports from Russia are set to plunge after the import of seaborne crude oil on December 5th. So I guess that's today. The ban, well, that was a couple days ago. Oil production growth in U.S. is flattening for numerous reasons. U.S. crude exports to EU can only replace a small portion of Russia OPEC crude. All right, that's another thing going on that the U.S. can't replace it, and they're saying to ban Russian oil from Europe. All right, so that could be a major reason why the EU nations hate. They're going to end up hating America. All right. This is U.S. UK launch partnership to boost energy security and lower prices. So they may have a plan. The United States and UK announced on Wednesday a new energy partnership which they will work together to bring global energy prices down and boost security. Now, the U.S. has already boosted LNG supply to the European Union. So what's the price though? So what I'm hearing about the price being so high. Well, why would they buy this gas? Why would they buy LNG from the U.S. and it's expensive? I don't think they should tell you how much it costs. They say and lower prices. So they're still being vague about it because there's no price on here. I'm looking through this whole article. That's what I was hearing about. Well, the U.S. can replace it. Well, if they replace it, but is it going to be affordable? They say lower prices. They ain't lower prices, but they don't have a price in the article. And if you see a price, that's equivalent to a Russian gas, Russian oil. Just let me know, but I don't see one. All right, and that's what I've been hearing for the past weeks. That this LNG they're trying to replace it with, but it's expensive. Well, we'll see. We will see. See, on the 5th they reported it can't make up for it. Well, that's oil, and this is gas. Either way, it's like the same shit. All right, it's coming from Russia now. It's not coming from Russia anymore. So don't try to over complicate it. It was coming from Russia, and then they want to ban it and sell it, and U.S. make money off of the oil and gas market, which is more expensive. So this could be a reason that the EU nations end up hating America. All right. When you do look up Revelation 17, this refers to the beast with the 7 heads and 10 horns. And the 7 heads, 10 horns are the different European nations, European powers. And you're going to have, it says the 10 horns, which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. All right. So the European allies of America, right, the whore is America, they're going to do something. The America is going to do something against the 10 horns, which are the European powers. They're going to cause them to hate America, hate the whore. All right. But right now they're agreeing, for the power hath put it in their hearts to fulfill his will and to agree and give their kingdom unto the beast, which is the organization, European Union, NATO, until the beast, until the words of the power shall be fulfilled. All right. And the woman, which thou sawest, is the great city, which is Babylon, America, the whore, which reigneth over the kings of the earth, which meaning they are in charge. The whore controls the 10 horns. This is why the Russian oil and gas ban is in effect, and they're trying to cap the price at $60 a barrel. That's going to interrupt the market. Russia says they're not going for it. Go back to this article. It says that they want to cap it at $60 a barrel. So if it drops below or above, they still have to. Well, if it drops below, they probably still take it. But they saying no more than $60. I'm not sure this is in concrete yet. All right, but this is around the price they're saying. And Russia said they ain't going for it. So if they pull out of the market in Europe, that's going to cause all of our prices to go up. All right, and they're going toward India and China. The Russians are selling oil to India and China. So some more of the oil is increased, and it's a pipeline that was completed between Russia and China. So they're selling oil to more oil to China. Work on a key section of the East Route pipeline is reportedly finished. All right, so they're going east. So if the U.S. and the European countries want Russian oil out of Europe, then that's eventually going to happen, and everybody's going to suffer. All right. Now they say they don't want it completely out. They say they want to reduce the amount of money Russia can make. Well, but if you put that price cap on them, then Russia could very well say, well, we don't want to pay that, so we're not going to sell you any more oil. No more oil and gas, and that's going to cause all of our prices to go up, and that could cause them to crash the financial system and restart the other one. That could cause the world to do that. So eventually everything's going to lead to, well, here we go. Revelation 12:12, therefore rejoice ye heavens and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and to the sea, for the devil is come down unto you having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. So the great wrath is going to be what? That new world order system. And the implant is going to be the medium to buy and sell goods. It's going to be the process to buy and sell. All right, so they're intentionally trying to crash in the market with the lockdowns and taking this oil and gas out of Europe. That's going to cause the whole world to prices to go up if Russia decides to not do business with Europe anymore. And this is America's fault. All right, this is all America's fault, because only a few countries in Europe will say, okay, we don't want Russian gas. Let's say that happens. They just get their gas from Norway. They would have to up their production. I believe there's a pipeline coming from the north too into Europe. All right. And from what I'm hearing is that they can't produce enough to replace Russian oil and gas. All right. And it's going to cause everybody's prices to go up. All right. So ended with this, Revelation 13:16. This is the end of it. All right. So whatever happens, and within the markets, whether Russia stops supplying the gas to Europe, or Norway can't produce enough gas and oil, and America can't produce enough gas and oil to feed Europe, it's all going to turn into a new financial system, right? Because nothing's good. This is not going to end with Europe energy security. And in my opinion, I don't think they're going to have complete be able to replace Russian gas, all right? But we'll have to wait and see if they can actually replace it. From what I'm hearing, they can't replace the Russian oil and gas. All right, it's eventually going to end with something's going to happen in which they're going to have to bring in this new financial system. All right, Revelation 13 and 16. And this is going to be the new way to buy and sell. It's going to be through an implanted device in your body. Something's going to happen that's going to be so bad or evil that they're going to have to cause for order. And this is going to be the new order. All right. G5480. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name, which is the implant chip. And within that chip you have 666 within the coding. All right, that's Esau's mark. All right. And they can hide the number anywhere. They can hide it within the program. They can hide it within the packaging, the manufacturing process. The number is there. All right, Esau is very, very subtle devil, deceiver. Charagma, which means a mark stamped on the forehead or the right hand as his badge of the followers of the Antichrist. Right, which every Edomite is the Antichrist. All right. If you're against the law and prophecies of the Bible, you're an Antichrist. So if you're a false prophet, you're an Antichrist. All right. So the government is going to give this mark out. All right. It's a badge of servitude. When you take that mark, you are relinquishing your body to be used by the state. All right, so therefore it's a badge of servitude. All right. So I'll leave that there. Hope you gratified. Shalom.